Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live from us. I'm Lucy Brand.
And I'm Natasha Harris. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Chit Chat show. Hot topic this week.
Yes, we're really excited about this. As always, Natasha and I I'm going to call them activation chats. It's whenever we just have a chat about something, we have the most amazing, expansive conversations.
I know.
And we were talking today before this, we were talking in our own lives about when we've stretched ourselves too far and what that's meant, like what that's meant for us.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really excited to talk into this topic with you because I feel that a lot of us do it. A lot of us overstretch ourselves because it is a bit of a balance. I don't really like that word, but everything you desire is on the other side of your comfort zone. So how far is too far? But then you not know until you've crossed that line. You've bounced too far. And then Natasha gave the wonderful analogy of an elastic band. When it stretched too far and it pings back and then it's so contracted, limp and floppy. I know that I've been in that place quite a few times where I've just stretched myself too far and then it's actually had the reverse effect. It hasn't propelled me forward. It's actually contracted me back into my shell. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Like, let us know in the comments where you're from, where you're watching from, because we love hearing from you. We love learning where you're all from. I'm going to hand over to Natasha while I just share this out on a couple of my pages.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Lucy. Yes, this is a real topic. And as Lucy said, when Lucy and I have conversations, it's always incredible that we'll have a conversation about something that's going on for us and then how it spills out into the circle of light movement, how it spills out into other areas of our life. And it just is always so expansive. And this is why we love coming on here and sharing these musings, these I don't know, insights and things that we have, and just really, between the two of us, we always come at it from the same angle, but we have a very different language around it. And so hopefully some of this resonates. So if you're watching the replay, please type #replay. Please do share these conversations with your own communities. If you feel this is resonant, if this resonates with you, ask us questions. We love a bit of an opportunity to channel from our guides and get a bit further insight. So when those questions pop up, we can absolutely do that. So this topic is, I don't know about anyone else, but how are you overstretching yourself? Where are you overstretching yourself right now? Where might you be just overstretching a little bit and it's going underneath the radar? It's going a little bit unnoticed. It's going a little bit, like it's just lurking in the background a bit. Where might you be stretching yourself a little bit too far? Because I had a really big realization this week that I was overstretching myself around something, and it had been creeping up over the last, I don't know, months and months of creeping up, like unobserved, unnoticed, because it was like, oh yeah, this is okay. I don't mind doing this. I've got capacity for doing this. And then it was just a little bit more and just a little bit more. And it really dawned on me this week that I was so far and so deep into it that my boundaries, like my really good, boundaries that I had put in place around not giving away too much of my energy to others to allow it to deplete me, had completely gone out of the window. So it required a little bit of reassessing this week, and it feels incredible to have allowed myself to not feel overstretched, to have brought that back in, and to be feeling more comfortable in my own frequency and my own expansion rather than overstretching.
Yeah, and I'm sure we've all got examples like that. I definitely have from my past where I've invested in my business, and then the thing is, I've overstretched myself financially. And what that does, because I'm very much of the school thought of, a little bit of stretch is good, where it's excitement, but not to the point where you break, or not to the point where I mentioned about the rubber band coming back into yourself. And that's exactly what I did. I overstretched myself. And the shame and the guilt and the sense of failure and the pressure I put on myself. And also, I lost all my confidence. So it wasn't just that I didn't get a return on investment financially, there was all this other stuff that came along with it, the energetic, emotional stuff. That it actually took me about 2 years to recover from, to bounce back from. And although I learned a lot of lessons, I'm not going to be doing it again. I did realize I overstretched myself. And why? Why did I make that commitment? Because I gave my power away. Because I felt that I needed something outside of myself to help me and my business get there. Now, I'm not like, I'm a healer, a coach as well. I'm not saying that investing in coaching and healing and everything to help yourself is not worth it. It really is. But I feel like you have to look at where you are. Like, you have to look at where you are and what is feasible for you right now. Because the thing is, if you don't look at where you are and you just decide to maybe invest in whatever, and it could be time, it could be energy. If you decide to invest in any of these things and massively overstretch yourself, then it's just gonna come from then a place of lack and fear. And when you try and create from a place of lack and fear, that contracted space, because like, oh my gosh, how am I going to make this work? Right? When you do that, the only thing you attract to yourself is more lack and fear. Miracles aren't hanging out in those frequencies.
No,
no, exactly.
They really don't hang out there. Oh my goodness.
And so then the miracles aren't coming that perhaps you've been promised, or you've bought into that idea. And then you feel even worse about yourself. And then you beat yourself up even more. And then you're in that loop. And it is tough being in that loop of lack. Like, that is
really
tough.
is. Yeah, it really is. And it's tiring and it's exhausting. And then we put our head in our hands and we're like, how on earth am I going to pull this back? How am I going to change it? How? And we totally stepped out of the frequency of magic. It's like, it's really not great. And as Lucy just said, I just want to talk into this a little bit more, because I think it's really valuable what she's just said about, where are we right now? There will be something out there that is an energetic match for where you are now and where your next step is going.
Yes.
There is something that is an energetic match. And often what a lot of people that are selling their products are in this energy of like, if you don't do this now, then you lose your chance at it.
Yes,
and I was actually talking about this with a client this morning. Thank you for that conversation this morning, if you're listening. It really is. It's like we've built this idea of marketing and sales on this energy of lack and scarcity and fear. And actually, it isn't that. So if you want to have a little stretch, go find someone who is resonating with you on your frequency and that is going to stretch you to where you are ready to go. That is what I do with my clients. It is not about making false promises and like saying all sorts of things and selling on the basis of lack. It is all riding on the wave of abundance. So if you can imagine, I don't know if you showed this, but if you stretch yourself so far beyond what you're comfortable at doing, you are going to be holding your breath. You're going to be, I need to get there. It's not coming. How do I do it? And it's like, it's exhausting. And then when you kind of get there, because you've been working at it so bloody hard and dogmatically, you're going to take a breath and you're going to go, oh, thank God. And it's like letting go of that elastic band, and it is like the shrink back. So you end up back towards even further back when you were. And that's where you kind of like, oh my goodness, how on earth am I going to do this again? How am I going to do it again? Like, I haven't got the energy for it. And then it takes months for you to find that energetic resonance again to do that. We want to stretch ourselves. The magic lies in stretching ourselves for sure. But when you stretch yourself that far, you either go back and ping yourself or you freeze. You go, I'm like, you're like, this is just too scary. I can't do it again. And you go into into just frozen mode. I mean, like, I don't know how many of you experience that. I definitely have experienced that in the past. And it's recognizing that moment before you stretch yourself too far and allowing yourself to recognize, is this too far? Or is this going to help me, support me, encourage me to grow and expand? Or is it going to overstretch me?
And also, like, I love everything you just shared, and I completely agree. And I also feel that, like, you can always pull it back. That's the
Yes.
thing. Like, when I've been in that bit where the elastic bands come back and I've completely gone into my shell, fear, doubt, my insecurities have come out. I'm completely in lack. I'm completely in overwhelm and freeze. And I'm just like, how on earth am I going to change this? You can in an instant. You can in an absolute instant, but you've got to get on the frequency of expansiveness. You've got to get on the frequency of play and joy, because that's where the experiences you're desiring are hanging out on, right? So you can have your moment of woe and, oh my gosh, what have I done? Oh, I'm so rubbish at this, whatever it needs to be. But acknowledge that, because that's in your system, that is in your nervous system, and that's your experience right now. Acknowledge it, but then let it go. Like, and it's as simple as a choice. Like, I acknowledge this and I choose to let it go now. And in my words, I would say mind, body, energy, and on a cellular level too. And like, even now I can just feel like it's gone. Let go, because there's only the present moment, right? So how are you choosing to be in the present moment? What's been and gone is gone. Now, it did take me 2 years to get over myself with my thing. So, like, you know, I haven't got this down. Like, I really haven't got this down. I'm a human, and it will probably happen again. But like, if we can share like our wisdom in things like this, just to help you, because it might be that you're not realizing that you've overstretched yourself, especially if it comes to family. Like, you know, sometimes our boundaries can get blurred with that because we do things out of obligation or feeling like we have to. And also, it was interesting what you said about the conversation with your client this morning, Natasha. I had a conversation with my coach this morning, and we were talking about pain points. And I was saying how, like, in sales, it never worked for me, like digging into someone's pain point. Like, and just like, I was like, why would I want to make someone cry on a call with me, like, and then try and sell them something? It's like, no wonder it never worked. Like, and so it's again this like digging in, and a lot of sales does that, like the scarcity, the lack, digging into the pain. Like, that's not what this new paradigm's about. So, like, let's flip that on its head. And where can you joyfully, excitedly tapping into that? I call it like those little, I imagine like they're little lightning crackles that you can feel. I feel them on my fingertips, like the witch that I am. And I also feel them in my ovaries, because that's a source of creation for women. And even if you've had a hysterectomy, the energetic imprint of your ovaries is still there in your womb. So, like, connecting with that creative energy, that's what you want to connect with when you invest in anything, invest time. And you want to come from that creative excitement space. That's where you make decisions from, because when you make decisions from that place, it will be aligned with your highest good. And not from a place of disempowerment, not from a place of obligation, not from a place of scarcity, lack, FOMO, all those other places. It'll come from that place of creation.
Yeah, that's so different, isn't it? I love that. It's like recognizing where we are doing things from a place of creation or a feeling of lack, of missing out. And just that simple question, is this a creative energy or a lack energy? And the creative energy is one of building on more. It's about creating something new. It's about dancing in the magic of what might be possible, of what's coming up, of you know, stretching yourself a little bit, because that really is where we grow. We absolutely do not grow from staying stagnant and frozen. We just don't. But we also don't grow safely and expand safely when we are overstretching ourselves. That does not give us confidence. That does not put us in a space of feeling safe. It puts us in fear of lack. We might be thinking, oh, my desire is on the other edge of that if I keep going. But actually, we're driving everything, forward through an energy of fear and lack. And that does not create the desires that we want sustainably, like longevity of it, like to keep going, building on the momentum of it. It's like when you hit a milestone in your business, we go, yay, brilliant. But I don't know how I'm ever going to do that again. Like, I can't do that again. Like, I can't. Like, how? And then we freeze. And then we don't know what to do. It's a bit like a rabbit in headlights. It's like, oh, wow, that was magical. That was amazing. Look at what I just managed to do. But we don't know what we did, because it is done. We're doing things for sure, but it's playing in that stretch frequency that is magical, that we stretch ourselves a little bit. But then we get back in our heads and we go, we want the certainty of staying comfortable again, back into our comfort zone, back into family, and that I need the certainty that I can do it again, but I don't have the evidence yet. So we freeze.
And that's where the law of incremental increases comes in and helps you. Because I was giving this example to a client yesterday about $1 million. So if you want to manifest $1 million, it's so much easier to do it step by step by step by step. Because if you do it like that, then you've got the previous step to look back on and be like, oh, I did that. And the previous step, oh, I did that there. Whereas if you go from 0 to 1 million, or perhaps in lots of debt to 1 million, your mind goes, oh my God, I'm not worthy of this. I can't be possibly worthy of this. I can't hold the frequency or expand into the frequency of $1 million, because it's not actually about manifesting the $1 million. That's easy to do. The thing is actually, I'm choosing my words carefully, but keeping the $1 million. Because we've spoken about this before, people that win the lottery, they lose it all within less than a year, all of it, because they've had that spike of holding the frequency of $1 million, that stretch. But it's like, oh, I'm not worthy of this. I don't have the managerial mindset to cope with the holding the frequency, expanding the frequency into $1 million, let alone 2, stretching. So it's like, ping, the elastic band comes back. And so they give it all away, or they lose it all, or whatever. And so if you work with the law of incremental increases bit by bit, stretching yourself bit by bit, expanding yourself bit by bit, that feels so light and playful. My fingers are crackling. Like, it feels so light and playful, rather than, and how much more fun is that? Like, how many more celebrations can you have along the way to $1 million, right? Rather than it being, oh yeah, I got the, oh my God, I'm freaking out, lost it all again. Yeah? I'd rather have the journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And we forget, you absolutely spot on there, Lucy, because we forget to celebrate the milestones along the way. We hold our breath and wait until we get to the, I don't know, Lucy's just talked about the $1 million, until we get to the $1 million and think that's when we're going to celebrate. But if we haven't celebrated any step along the way, the 10,000, the 100,000, the 300,000, the 500, the 800, we cannot hold that vibration. We need to celebrate every step of the way. And something also somebody said, that I was listening to, it's like, if you can manifest or create 10,000, if that's your monthly income is 10,000, and you can manifest that, and you're in that energy, there's nothing stopping you from doing that once or twice or 3 times in a month. It's the same energy. Rather than thinking, how do I get to 30,000? Thinking of it more in the sense of, well, I got the frequency of 10. How do I just do that twice? How do I just do that 3 times? Because it's just holding that same vibration, but just doing it again, rather than thinking, well, we negate the 10 and go, well, I haven't got the 30, or I haven't got the 20. And we don't celebrate the 12, the 15, the 18 before we even get to it. So celebration is absolutely, absolutely key to all of this.
Yeah, completely
Amazing.
agree. And I feel like, yeah, I feel like that's where I want to leave it, on the note of celebration.
Yeah,
Expansiveness.
celebration. So if you kind of feel like you want to celebrate more, celebrate all these little stretchy bits, come stretch yourself a little bit, celebrate, stretch yourself a bit more, celebrate, and you want a community of like-minded souls to come out and hang out with, then we have a wait list currently to come and join our community. But we do have a gift while you wait. You can join our wait list and get 2 free healing sessions from Lucy and I, one on freedom, one on confidence, that will give you that supporting edge, and then come and see what our community is about. And if you really love it, then drop us a message, and we can see what we can, how we can help you out a little bit more with that. But we would love to invite you to come, play with us, dance in the light, hang out with us a little bit more on social media, on Instagram, on here on Facebook. We're also live on YouTube as well. And go back. We have weekly chit chats, hot topics, just like this, that you can go back and watch. So we would love your thoughts on anything that resonates with you from previous ones as well.
Yeah, come and hang out with us, because it is a lot of fun. Natasha and I laugh a lot. So
We do.
come and hang out with us and just have some fun. Like, sometimes, seriousness is so old paradigm. So come and hang out with us, have some fun, some lightness. Even if you're going through a really, really tough time, we acknowledge that as well. Everyone has their challenges, and we're not just about being in the light and ignoring those things. Like, acknowledge your challenges, and then we'll help you move through it, support you through it, and dance in the light whilst you're going through the challenges. It's about, again, expanding into the frequency of love and light whilst moving through the difficult times. So, my lovelies, thank you so much. I believe we're going to be here next week as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we're here next week at 1 o'clock next Thursday. So please come and join us. And like Tash said, if you would like more conversations, then check us out on YouTube and Instagram too.
Lots of love to you all. Bye for now.
Bye.